Entrepreneurs aren't born, they're brewed. You are now listening to the Entrepreneur Podcast with your host, Adam McChesney. Let's grow!
Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Adam McChesney, and I want to thank you for being here today. We are live from Half Coast Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you to Half Coast for this amazing setup and for sponsoring the show. If you're looking to start your podcast or take your current one to the next level, then you definitely need to come check out what they have going on. Contact them today for a free consultation. If you're listening, please be sure to subscribe to the show and leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. We would love for you to share this content on social media by tagging me and our guests. And this way we can get this incredible content out to more people. Today we have another great episode lined up for you. This guest and I have been connected online going for 2+ years at this point. We've been in many of the same mastermind groups before, met earlier this year for the first time in Dallas and got to spend some time together in Costa Rica back in August. His story is incredible. I won't steal his thunder, but he's overcame a lot in his life to get to this point, and he's making some serious noise. My guest today is David Carroll. He is the owner and founder of Dope Marketing. Dope Marketing helps clients get more jobs, more referrals, and more reviews with automated direct mail from Dope. He currently lives in Minneapolis with his family. David, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me, man. You made me blush with your intro.
Oh, well, you deserve it, man. You deserve it. I'm super pumped to have you on the show, man. I know you're going to provide some heat and some fire. We were just talking before the episode about some amazing things you got going on. So this will be a good time to talk about it, man. So we like to bring our guests on and talk about their entrepreneurial journey, talk about the ups and downs, all that good stuff, and compare that to the beer brewing process. But first, before we get started, we'd like to know where you're at right now and talk to us about what we were kind of just going through and what you guys got going on at Dope and who you guys service, and then tell us the backstory. So let's focus on the now and then work backwards.
Absolutely. So Dope Marketing, we are going into our 3rd year of business. We still consider ourselves every bit of a startup, but my personal experience, I opened a home service company about 13 years ago. I've been phased out of that. We do like power washing, gutter cleaning, window cleaning, Christmas lights. I have been phased out of all of that for about going on 8 years now. That business was my first business, led me to my data and my software journey, which got us here to Dope Marketing. At Dope Marketing, what we do is automated direct mail with no minimum order. We built the software, we own the print shop, and as far as businesses we work a ton in the home service space. So like roofing, lawn care, HVAC, solar, but we also have a ton of clients in just local businesses. So whether it's like dentists and chiros or restaurants or insurance agents or real estate companies, we solve a problem that a lot of people are not focused on. Direct mail has been done a certain way. I was born in 1985. I feel like a lot of people are still doing direct mail as if it was November 10th, 1985, the day I was born. At Dope, we take a different approach. We try to find the dope in your business, the data on previous engagement. So we take strategies that are working for your business and in your vertical, because success leaves clues. There's a lot of people that'll be much more successful than we ever dreamed to be. And so we look at these things that people are doing in your niche, in your vertical, in your industry. We apply industry proven playbooks. We have some cool bells and whistles that we built in our software as well that allows you to do some pretty dope stuff.
I love it, man. And yeah, I think like you're obviously your guys' energy, your branding, all that stuff speaks for itself in terms of what you guys are trying to do differently when it comes to direct mail, because, and you and I have talked about this and you kind of spoke about it in Costa Rica on stage, is like most people think of it as this outdated, like dinosaur extinct tool. Whereas if you do it the right way and you leverage all this technology and the data that you guys can provide, it really changes the game, and it's in an industry that is dying for creativity and nature and automation and all these different things. So I love what you guys are doing. What are some of the cool aspects that with the data component, just to kind of fill the audience in, like what are some of those things that you guys really focus on and kind of makes you different?
Yeah, so like when you look at your perfect customer in your business, it's like if you've been open for more than a year, your data tells a story. Like you have customers that are doing what you want them to. They're coming to your website, they're filling out forms, they're buying your services, you're completing the services, you're getting reviews and referrals. And so like your current customers, our job at Dope is identifying who that is and getting you in front of more people just like that. And a lot of times we overlook things as business owners. We're trying to find this new thing or what's working for someone else that we're not doing, when in reality, that stuff's usually right in front of your face. And so for anyone that services people at their home or homeowners, it's like you overlook the fact sometimes the relativity of humans and human nature. As humans, we like to do things that make us comfortable, that we're familiar with. And the idea is like, think of the neighborhood you live in and think of your neighbors. Now, you might not have them over for dinner every night, or your kids might not play together every weekend, but like you trust these people because you live next to them. So it's fair to say that your neighbors, you have the same lifestyle. You make the same amount of money. Your house was probably built around the same year with the same materials. So likely in your buyer's journey, you share a lot of similarities with the neighbors of the people that are using your services, or the people that you use services, your neighbors probably need them. And a lot of companies don't focus on that. And so at Dope, we look at the jobs you're currently doing. And one of the first things we do for any company is we can set up automation. So we look at like Adam, like any business, you guys have a ton of clients over at Heights St. Louis, and like, it could be a roofing company, it could be an HVAC company, it could be a restaurant, it could be a real estate investor. The idea is like they have a workflow, right? Like a lead comes in, an estimate is given, the estimate is approved, the work is scheduled, the work is started, the work is completed, the work is paid for in some way, shape, or form. There's variables there, but like transactions all follow a similar timeline. Add or remove some stuff in there. The idea is like, at Dope, we can identify that timeline or that pipeline or that workflow, and we can make postcards automatically go out to the neighbors of a current job. So let's just say you're a roofing company and you send Dave out to a job, and Dave knocks on Adam's door and gets that roof, does an estimate, gets on the roof and gets the roof approved. You mark that job approved in your CRM. 25 postcards go out to the neighbors of that job. Hey, we just got your neighbor approved for a new roof. Mark that job scheduled. Pardon the dust, pardon the noise. We're working in your neighborhood. Mark the job completed. Thanks for putting up with us. Picture of the truck. Hit us up if you have same or similar problems. If you're affected by the storm, mark it paid. A handwritten note goes out to the homeowner. Thanks for choosing our business. Adams Roofing is a local company. Please use this QR code to leave us a review. And it's this stuff that like, it sounds good. We should all be doing it, but it goes to 1440. It's minutes in the day. How many minutes do you have to do all these things as you're wearing all these hats in your business? So at Dope, we look at it like you're a business owner. You got 100 problems during the day. We solve like 4 to 6 of them perfectly. We don't do AdWords, TikTok, websites, LinkedIn, landing pages, smokes. We don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Automated direct mail with no minimum order. That's really our focus. And with the data, the neighbors, and we got some other cool lists we can talk about.
Love it, man. Yeah, no, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously, that listen to this show. We have a lot of clients that are contractors, and I know we've talked before about implementing this with our clients. But guys, if you're listening to this show and you're like, direct mail is outdated, I'm telling you, and we'll get obviously David's, contact information, show notes, all that good stuff. Like, you need to just hop on a call with him and his team, because the stuff that they're doing is changing the way direct mail, but more importantly, data is utilized to grow your business. And that to me is a really cool aspect. So kind of shifting gears here a little bit, David, talk to us about how you started Dope and like what your journey has been like throughout your life, because I think it's fascinating, and I think it will kind of bring this all full circle as we dive into that.
Yeah, for sure. So when I get into conversations, like I'm a data guy, guilty, thick glasses, spreadsheets, nerdy stuff. That's my jam. I like to go into some Dave math here when I explain this story. So I just turned 37 years old. I was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. I have two parents, like most of us, but my parents were married 3 times each. I have 9 brothers and sisters from different marriages, one full one. I went to I was a bit of a knucklehead growing up. I went to 9 high schools. Ended up
That's impressive.
being the met some people, did some networking.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a knucklehead. I ended up taking my knucklehead behaviors to. I ended up getting in some trouble when I was 21. I ended up going to prison for 4 years from when I was 21 to 25. Wasn't that great at what I was doing, or I probably wouldn't have got caught and gotten in trouble. So I got in trouble, went to prison, got out when I was 25, met my now wife, who I've been with for 12 years. We have our 5th child on the way. And I just went where, like, Adam, you know, my background, I'm never the guy that likes to lead with, like, I'm a felon entrepreneur and everyone who was a knucklehead can do this shit. Like, I don't know. I don't always like to lean on or highlight the fact that, like, I'm an ex-idiot that made some great decisions that I put me and my family through. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we all have our journey. We all have our path. And for me, getting out, I like, when I was 17 years old, I was counting $1 million in a hotel room. I've been expelled. My life was like every bit of a rap video every day. I tried to have it be, and it kind of was. And so getting out at 25, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? I don't want to go back to that. The only job I had ever had in my life, I had got a job at a window cleaning company when I was in a halfway house. And so I was like, what are we going to do? My now wife, Barin, we got this kid on the way. What are we going to figure out? We're like, let's start a window cleaning company. Well, fast forward, you know, almost 13 years. That's the company I still own. We started that out of my mom's garage. Still functions well. I think we have 17 employees now. That company has done 7 figures for about 8 years. And I don't know the names of our employees. I don't know the jobs that go. I have no clue what goes on over there. They probably wouldn't know who I was if I showed up. But I'm like, you know, what I like to call like a real entrepreneur, like a real vision. I'm talking about to a fault. Like I know marketing, I know sales. I'm great with ideas. Day to day, counting the beans, running the systems, doing the stuff. Like, I am not the guy that you want doing that stuff. And I always go to, like, what got us here won't get us there. And so my nature, my mentality, my grind, my stuff, like, that got me to a certain point in my life where I could live a pretty good lifestyle, making 150 grand a year, kind of flying by the skin on my ass, moving, shaking, hustling, doing that type of shit. Where I got to, like, you know, my journey with dope and what led up to this. So I started my cleaning company, and I knew within a couple of years that wasn't my passion. That wasn't my focus. I was like, I wanted to phase out of that. So I got into, I started in software, and we kind of hit a triple with that right away. I came out with the software. I couldn't spell software. I sold this PDF merger. It would now be like a Panda Doc or something like that. I came out with that, and we sold it to 400 people for $30 a month in 90 days. And I was just like 3 years into my cleaning company. I'm like, holy shit, this is easy. Let's do it. Then I tried to turn it into a CRM, got into this lawsuit with this company from Canada, for like got some lumps from that one. And I got exposed to the world of data. And I was sending a lot of direct mail with my cleaning company. I was selling lists. We were brokering mail, doing email stuff, doing digital marketing stuff. So I kind of cut my chops we had an agency, but we were more like selling data and then brokering the agency services for like 5, 6, 7 years, just making a decent living. My cleaning company was running. I was doing some public speaking, some influencer stuff. And then, like, what hit me about 4 years ago is I was like, direct mail is really hard. Like, you got to get your list, and you got to clean your list up, and then you got to deal with some wacko designer on Fiverr, your ex-girlfriend's friend from college or some shit. So design would take a while. Then you got to get with a mailing company that can set all this up, and you got to deal with the post office and set up the tracking. So something as simple as like sending mail for your business, so you think is easy. It's like, why don't a lot of people do this? Why have people done this once or twice? Because it's fucking hard. Can I swear?
Yeah, that's all good.
Right. Fucking fuck. So mail is hard, and we identified that. And what I saw was like, there's just not a lot of people focused on fixing this. So we started to write a piece of software about 3.5 years ago, and I was like brokering the mail still through different companies, and we didn't do it. And I was like, it couldn't go right. It was like the quality of the mail was bad. The turnover time was long. Some of the shit like just wasn't going out. I'm like, this isn't how this is supposed to work. So I looked at different print shops and I was like, these printers are computers with manuals that people have read before and they can operate them. And so I said, fuck it. We went and bought a print shop and a bunch of printers. And guys, look, I'll be the first to admit, like, I had no clue what I was doing, but we bought a bunch of these printers. We started setting them up, and like, it was as painful as any, I don't know, try to go rent a stump grinder and cut your tree down and grind a stump. It's that hard. It's not easy shit to do. And so we get the print shop, we tie the software with the print shop, and then we just saw that like a lot of the approaches with traditional direct mail right now, direct mail is run by a bunch of like 70-year-old fat dudes that suck at golf whose kids don't want to work for them. Like, I'm just their favorite nephew, Dave. Like, I love this shit. It excites me. And so what they said wasn't possible with direct mail. We just didn't have like, there's two analogies here. It's like we didn't have the blinders on, or we said like, you know, hey, we can just do, I look at it more like we put the blinders on, like, fuck what you guys are doing. We're going to do it our way. And so I wrote a piece of software, I didn't, my team did, that talks to the print shop. So now we can do things like, dude, walk into Minuteman Press right now or call Postcard Mania and tell them, I want to send 50 postcards tomorrow to the neighbors of my job, and I want to eliminate the people I've done jobs for, and I want it to go out within 24 hours. Their eyes would cross, they would throw up, and they'd ask you to leave. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And so that was where we started with Dope, was like looking at the possibilities for automating direct mail, like connecting it with a CRM, having it go out to the neighbors, have it like, just do some stuff that traditional direct mail wasn't doing. And then as we started like adding features and functionalities, we got like the handwritten cards in there. You can come in and buy like we got a list of new home buyers every day. We got this cool filtering tool. So you can like say, I want the nearest 100 homeowners that their house is worth over 500,000. It's over 3,500 square feet, and they make more than 100 grand a year. Like, we can do that. You can get on a map and do all this stuff. And again, it just goes to like, it's not that it was impossible. It's just the way things were done for so long. The idea of doing them this differently, you couldn't go sell a printer or tell a printer this is what you want to do or this is possible. And so I'll never go at them to like, Uber, taxi cab, Blockbuster, Netflix. Don't get me wrong, guys. We're trying to change the world and make $1 billion too, but it's more like we've identified that if you have a tax ID, a CRM, and you're active in business, you're not closing next year. If you work with our company for a year, we can show you how to do some stuff I can guarantee you're not doing right now. And because it's all based off what you're currently doing in your business, it just adds some stuff on. I always say, like, an entrepreneur's got 5 fingers on their hand for a reason. 4 things you're doing that are working and 1 thing that you can knock off that kind of becomes disposable that you want to add that. We can very easily, for companies, become that 5th thing that works into your, I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing that changes your life, that does whatever, but we figured out how to automate some things that 9 out of 10 businesses are not doing regularly. And it makes a lot of sense.
No, that's the word that keeps coming to mind is like just innovation above the standard, right? Because the standard is, hey, this stuff is, you kind of want to do it, right? You want to test it out, but you just don't know if it's going to work. But you guys are taking the data aspect of it and making, not only are we going to make it work, but we're going to make it so simple and easy that you don't have to do anything. Like, we're going to make this as literally as just clicking a button and doing all that stuff. So I think, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are definitely creating yourselves a unique space or a unique niche in that space, which is awesome. I want to get into some of the ingredients as we talk about within beer. Obviously, beer is made from great ingredients, but your entrepreneurial story goes beyond, obviously, like just what you've done at Dope. And so I'm sure you've learned a lot of things along the way, but what are 3 things that have made you successful in your journey thus far?
So the thing that I can recognize, we talked about this a little bit out in like Costa Rica, where it's like, with success, quote unquote, you start to live in this world of cliches where it's like, keep your circle smaller, more money, more problems, like these things that you've heard your whole life, but you're like, that's stupid. That doesn't apply to me. And then you get to where like, one thing that I can say that I try to teach this to my kids. I try to people that, I work with, get on podcasts, consulting with, whatever. It's like, you just got to get out of your own fucking way. Like it's one thing to know you can't, like, no one is going to do what you do as good as you do, or they'd be fucking doing it. And you got to get over that. Like, the person that you hired that can only take like 70, they're a 7 out of 10. That's fucking magical. Because if someone like follows your core values and you can get them into your company, one thing that I've learned, Adam, with how fast Dope has scaled is like, we don't have one function in this company that depends on one person anymore. We're a systems company now. And I fucking suck at systems. Like, I am not the guy to like stay on track and do the thing. But it's like, if you can find the fucking gym helpers, like they show up every day in the same color shirt and eat the same ham sandwich and they date the chick and they do the thing and they go and play basketball every weekend on Saturdays. Like, that's the person you want. You gotta have. So first off, one beautiful thing about business is that you can literally outwork your competition. As special as we all think we are, it's like there is going to be someone who has done what you're trying to do better than you will ever do. Success leaves clues. And so if you can just rationalize like, okay, I understand that I'm running this business and I'm going to do it this way, but these are my strengths and this is what I'm good at. How much harder do I have to work, or what do I have to give up to be able to hire the people so I can get out of my own fucking way? And it goes like, great, Dave, great advice. Hire the right people and get out of my own way. But it's like, look, if I go back to my cleaning company, I was fucking like washing windows, cleaning gutters. Dude, like, has anyone carried a 24-foot ladder watching this? I'm sure you have. It took 5 of us to carry a 24-foot ladder out of Home Depot. If anyone knows that, that's a one-man job, not a 5. And like, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. Yeah. But I was cleaning gutters, washing windows, shaking hands, kissing babies, saving cats from trees, whatever. And what I realized with my power washing, with my cleaning company, it's like, you could open up 100 people next door to me. Doesn't fucking matter, because I'm just going to wake up earlier and go to sleep later and outwork you. If I outwork you, I can afford to hire people that can be the office manager, answer the phone, do the work, run the estimates. And so it's like, identifying what you're good at is the most important thing in your business. Because if you're a technician, then you should be doing the fucking work. If you're a systems person, you should be fucking managing. If you're a salesperson, probably pretty clear what you should be doing. You should be on the phone or in front of people fucking selling things to people. And so the idea is, regardless of where you're at in your business, identify what you're good at, identify what you fucking suck at. Because I bet that list is way longer than the list of things that you're good at. The list of things that you're not good at, how much does your business depend on that? Like 9 out of 10 people listening to this or watching this, I guarantee you should not be answering your own phones, no matter what. Like, you should not be taking in an incoming lead from someone who you don't know what they're calling about so that you have to be the one to solve that problem. Hire an office manager or someone to answer your phones that can at least go, I don't know the answer to that, but I know someone who can. And if you give me 24 hours, I can get back to you. Oh, this is urgent. I can get back to you in an hour with the answer. But like, you have to look at what are the things that makes your business run and what of those things can you do? So what advice would I give someone? Realize you have to get out of your own way, hire the right people, and have core values that matter that you can hire and fire behind. And look, I fucking promise that I was told this 13 years ago, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. What do you mean? Core values? I don't have time to write those down. Get out of my own way. I have to do everything. No one can do it as good as me. And hire? What do you mean? I can't fucking afford it. I have to do all these things. And it's like, when I talk to anyone that's taken the journey around like whatever success is, they hired the right fucking people. They had core values and they got out of their own way. So like, how stubborn do you want to be? Do those things and it'll be better than it is right now.
Oh man. No, you kind of tied into our next one about that one big lesson that you've learned. I think you kind of showed like obviously real life experience of when you've probably screwed up or when you didn't have those core values, or when you didn't have those things. Because that's where I think most people go wrong, is they think that they can go and listen and hear all this stuff. And I was the same way. Like, I knew for years, I mean, it's only been doing this for 2.5 years, but I knew for literally a year and a half, almost 2 years, that I needed the core values, that I needed the processes and systems, but I just didn't do it, right? And then I realized it was to a breaking point where I had to do it, or otherwise I was going to be screwed even more. So we all have to hit our head sometimes and literally learn the lessons the hard way. But if you had to pinpoint like one key lesson, like one thing that you would share with an entrepreneur looking to save years worth of mistakes, what would that one thing be?
A big question, Adam. I would say when it's uncomfortable, you have to figure out how to be comfortable in the discomfort, because that's where growth happens. So like, I just started avidly running about 4 months ago. If you would have told me 6 months ago that I'd be running 10 miles a day, multiple times a week, I'd have told you were fucking crazy. And I relate my growth in running to business. It's why I put myself through the pain I put myself through, because if you can get comfortable in the discomfort, you can do anything you want. And it goes back to the cliches. What's your why? Like, what are you really trying to fucking do? Are you trying to get more time for your kids? You came out of corporate. You don't want a boss. You want to make more money. You had an idea. You want to take over whatever it is. If you can understand your own core values and your why, you can actually have a reason for what the fuck you're doing. And if you understand why you're doing what you're doing every day, and you come to terms that you woke up this morning and you have bigger aspirations than where you're at right now, outside of putting your phone on ghost mode during the night so you can spend time with your family, you should be uncomfortable as fuck all day, like all day long. And so the one big thing that I've learned is, as you grow, you continue to acquire people that are dependent on you. And I don't mean just employees, or like, you have people that your mood, your reactivity to certain things, the way that you manage, the way that you operate during the day. There are people whose days are affected by simply the fucking mood you're in. And you took on that responsibility in starting a business. And so when you look at like, how do you put yourself in the best spot to be uncomfortable, but to realize like you took on that responsibility? And so when I look, dude, like, I'm a fucking reactive dude. I have a temperament. I'm kind of aggressive at times. And I'm like, I have to wake up during the day and get my shit together. And I found running, like the mental health. I leave my house, and have you ever heard like Kobe say it, before he passes, like, Kobe signs a contract with himself, and he made a commitment that like, I'm going to do this summer. I'm going to go through this training. I'm going to exercise in this way. I'm going to grow in this way. What I do when I leave my house and I go run, I'm like, I'm going to go run fucking 10 miles right now. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what, like I never did it before, but I'm going to go do this. It's the pain that when I get to the 6th mile and I'm like, holy shit, this is how this feels. I don't want to do this. This fucking hurts right now. I relate it so much to business because I'm like, right now with Dope Marketing, we are growing like at a very fast rate. And this shit hurts. It hurts good, but I'm learning a lot, that even through my career in the past 13 years, I'm going through things that we just haven't experienced before. And I equate it to like being comfortable in that discomfort, because I can look back and say a couple of years ago, I would have been a fucking hothead, being an asshole to everyone. I'm stressed out. I'm doing everything. Like, whose fault is this? It's fucking me. I decided to do all this. And now as we're growing and I acquire these people that are dependent on me for their temperature during the day. Do you think it's different when I have 30 employees here at Dope Marketing and I walk in with my head down and I'm pissed off because we just got off the thing? Or, what up? What's going on? Like, being able to understand the responsibility that I take on, like, that's been huge for me. Knowing that the pain, I have to be comfortable in that pain of that growth, because I'm not where I want to be yet. And I've come to terms with that. And it's this balance of like, It's stressful. It's beautiful. It's got my fucking hairline pushing back and like every bit of it. But remembering that like I signed up for this. I created this, and it's my responsibility to be as approachable, having as good communication, as good of a temperament as I can, because like I could go work at McDonald's and that would probably suck more than this does. So
absolutely. No, I love it. I mean, I learned some stuff there just on building teams and growing teams and your attitude. Like people are watching every move that you do, and that speaks volumes to them more so than anything you actually say, even though they're also listening to that. But the way that you hold yourself, the way that you respond to, issues and fires, people are going to rise with you or fall down with you. And at the end of the day, you have to understand that, again, you did sign up for this. So I love that you talk about that. So kind of bring this all together as we wrap up this episode, we like to talk about the distribution of beer. So taking it to market and selling it. So what do you have? I know we talked about some amazing things that Dope Marketing has going on, but what's in the future for you? What's in the future for Dope, and what can we expect coming down the pipeline?
Man, so on a personal level, I'm trying to populate the fucking world. I got baby number 5 on the way.
Yep.
Working on that. I got some buddies that have like 10 kids, and I'm just like, is that where we're going with this? Like, I don't know. I mean, I like to practice. I'm not going to know whatever. But like, the idea is, for me, I'm just on this personal journey, man, where I think like we can all identify like phases of growth. And for me, I gave up a lot of things this year. I haven't drank in almost like we're going on 9 months. I quit smoking. We quit eating fast food. I used to call intermittent fasting like working. Like, what do you mean? You didn't eat all day? I was just working. And so now it's like I don't eat from like when I wake up to like 4 or 5 p.m. That's giving me some other energy stuff. The things I'm putting in my body, the exercise, the supplements. I started doing like IVs. I get like an IV every other week. I get like this NAD shot. I mean, I get that, you pay to be in these rooms full of like successful people, right? And I'm just like, the fuck are you guys up to? What are you doing? And so my buddies got me on this like Tom Brady fucking shot that I get every other week or whatever.
That's awesome.
But it's for me, it's the journey of self-improvement, because I know if I'm better, then the people that rely on me can be better. So on a personal level, man, I just turned 37 last week. I'm on a pretty interesting journey that I just, very focused on health and fitness and just like the mental health that comes along with that. It balances out all the bad shit. As far as Dope, on the journey of where we're going, man, I'm just trying to make an impact on businesses. I have the best team around me that I've ever had in my entire career. And like, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I want to look at November 17th in 3 years when I can look back at this podcast and be like, look at the people that are around us, because I know we're doing something really, really amazing over here. But for us, it's like we can literally help every single business, from something as simple to like a handwritten note that goes out to have some intimacy, neighbors getting communicated with. We're not as focused, like we generate leads at Dope Marketing. Sure, that is a result of what we do. But what our superpower is it's allowing businesses to expedite growing trust, growing recognition. Like Harvard business, you're a Harvard grad too, right, Adam? We went to Harvard.
Yeah. Twice.
Harvard twice, yeah. Second round. So the idea is like, it takes 7 to 11 touches for a consumer to remember a brand. And this day and age, that number can even get built up more just with all the exposure we have, ads and shit like that. At Dope Marketing, we really focus on helping businesses get those valuable touches for those 7 to 11 touches. So whether it's like our neighborhood automations, our new home buyer list, we got a list of people that have a birthday every month. So you can send out the Olive Garden type stuff. We have a list of people that bought a car last month. We have a list of people with $1 million homes. So it's like, we have a strategy for every business. And as we continue to grow and learn at Dope Marketing, it's just like, how do we best serve our clients? Things are about to get tight, dude. Like it's that roller coaster. Every 10 years, there's going to be a recession, a downturn, a thing like that's on the horizon. We positioned ourselves really well because we allow our clients to work with us fully automated, no minimum order from their CRM. And so just really trying to serve not only big clients, but the medium, the small people. We kind of have a path for everyone. That's really important to me right now, is just like being able to identify where we can kind of help clients out and go into a partnership. We're not a month-to-month service where you turn on and turn off. We go into an agreement for a year, because after a year, we can say that you'd only stop working with our business if we do our job and the client does their job when they're going to sell or close for the stuff we do.
I love that. I love that the partnership aspect to that, man. No, I appreciate you giving us some insight there. I'm really excited to continue to see the company grow, but man, it's been awesome following your journey. Just, I know I talked to you like right before, I think a week before I said I was going to stop drinking. I was like, man, dude, how's it going for you? You're like, dude, just do it. Just try it out. I think Saturday's 90 days for me. So it's huge, man. So I understand the benefits and all that. And I value our friendship and really excited to keep following you, man. So thanks so much for coming on the episode today. Where can everybody find out more about you and Dope, whether it's social media, websites, combination of all that stuff?
So I'm the guy yelling, swearing, and now not smoking on the internet. Dopemarketing.com, anywhere you type it in, whatever. We're pretty easy to find. If you search us on Facebook, you might get a notification that you're trying to buy drugs. I promise you're not. It's just us. Dope Marketing, DOPE Marketing. Wherever you search, you will find us.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll put that all in the show notes. David, thanks so much for coming on the episode today. It was a great time, man.
Appreciate you, Adam.
And I want to thank you again to the audience for tuning in to today's podcast. Please be sure to subscribe, download, and share our content. Leaving a 5-star review goes a long way. And thank you again to HalfCo Studios. If you're here in St. Louis and looking to start your podcast or take your current one to the next level, seriously come check out what they have going on. We'll see you all next week. And remember, entrepreneurs aren't born, they are brewed.
I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs aren't born, they're brewed. Thank you for listening to Entrepreneur Podcast with your host, Adam McChesney.